Screaming Geek Media here. I am Jerry the Geek. Today we've got a monthly watch video. But before we get into this, if you like physical media, 4Ks, Blu-rays, even DVDs, if you like home theater, movies in general, please check out my other videos on my channel because I do these monthly watches. I do collection updates. I do different discussions, reviews, unboxings. Check that stuff out. Hit the like button, subscribe, turn your bell notifications on, and always feel free to comment below. Let me know what you think of anything. So today we got a monthly watch video. We are going to talk about everything I watched in the month of August. And if you follow me, I've been doing a big kick on animated movies, and I've had so many. So I did a third month of them. I've got a lot of them here to go through. And then after those, I actually did do a few other movies we'll go over. So let's kick it off with some Disney movies. First up, we've got Treasure Planet. This is one, I can't remember if I've ever watched this before or not. I've had this for years. Very good movie. Definitely, it's very well done. It's a newer Disney where it's geared toward the whole family and not just the kids. Got a lot of, if you follow me, if you've watched my other videos, some of the old Disney classics do not age well, and they are boring as shit as adults. They're geared toward the kids, but newer Disney stuff is much better in my opinion. And this is a really good one. It's got a good story to it. Next up, we've got Moana. This is definitely one got originally for a grandkid several years ago. She had to watch this over and over. And to be honest, even without the kids around, this is actually one of my favorites. This is a really good movie. I enjoy this every time. It's just so much fun. Especially, Hey Hey is freaking hilarious. I have not watched the sequel yet. I have to pick that up yet. But yeah, Moana, definitely really good one. Now, next up, we're getting into some classic Disney, some old hand-drawn stuff. And we got Fox and the Hound. Of course, this one's both of them. I've never watched the second one. I skipped it this round. I just watched the first one. It's a fun classic. It's not the best, but it's not the worst either. Again, these old classics are geared toward the kids, and as adults are just not as enjoyable. It's kind of interesting watching movies that I enjoyed as a kid and I grew up with them, and now I'm like, okay, what the hell was I thinking? But yeah, Fox and the Hound. Next up, we have Aristocats, another one I grew up with. This one is one of them that is actually still enjoyable. I mean, it's not the greatest. I wouldn't put this in my top 10, but it's a fun movie. It's got some entertaining characters. So Aristocats, definitely a good classic. Next up, we've got Oliver and Company. Another one I grew up with. Not too bad. I think Aristocats I'd put over this one, but this is still pretty decent. Still fun. Got some good lovable characters in it. Next up, we've got Lady and the Tramp. This definitely does not age very well, as I didn't really enjoy this one this time around. But yeah, just another one I grew up with. But yeah, as an adult, not really. Next up, we've got another old one, Alice in Wonderland. This, I can't remember when this came out. This is one of the really old ones. And this is definitely, I put up there with Snow White and Sleeping Beauty. It is boring as shit. It is like torture watching this. But the good side is, with the upscaling on my Panasonic, this freaking looked incredible for even just Blu-ray. But yeah, Alice in Wonderland, I doubt I'd ever watch this again. I just keep it for the Disney collection, but that's it. Next up, we got another Disney, but it's a newer one. It's actually a Christmas one. It's actually two shorts on here called Prep and Landing. And Prep and Landing, Naughty versus Nice. They're only like a half hour each, but these are really fun movies. Basically, the stories it follows a crew of the elves that actually go house to house and prepare the house for Santa's arrival. So definitely, if you've not seen these, I recommend getting these. These are freaking hilarious. So Prep and Landing combo pack, highly recommended. Now we move into something that's under the Disney umbrella, but we'll go to Pixar. First one up, we got Coco. This is the one I've had for a long time, but just never watched it. And yeah, this is not It's a more serious movie. I really didn't find myself there may be a couple spots that was kind of chuckled, but honestly, this was, I'll never watch this again. I really did not like this at all. If you liked it, let me know in the comments below. Nothing against you, but yeah, this was not my cup of tea. Next up, we've got another one I've had for a long time but never watched it. Onward. Now, this was pretty good. I really enjoyed this one. Got some fun characters in it, kind of fantasy backgrounds in it. But yeah, if you haven't seen Onward, I would recommend checking that out. Really good. Next up, we've got Brave. I have watched this before, but when I first got this, and I haven't watched it since, and I forgot how good this actually was. It was really good. Got the great animations. Really, the colors are incredible. You know, it's got some fun characters. So I think this is one of those Pixar movies that gets overlooked. I really don't see anyone talking about this, but yeah, this one would be up there on the list with good Pixar movies. Now we get into some Pixars that everyone knows about and talks about. And the first one we're going to do is Monsters, Inc. Classic, freaking hilarious. You know, John Goodman, Billy Crystal, got some other great voices in it as well, but such a great movie here. This would definitely be in my top 10 for the Disney Pixar. Next up, we've got Monsters University, which is, the sequel, but it's actually the prequel. The story of how they met and, how they went to school for how to be scarers. It's not as good as the first one easily, but it's still pretty damn good. Next up, we've got Toy Story, the original, what kicked off the whole Pixar thing, and definitely a classic. This is definitely be in my top 10. A lot of people probably pick it as their favorite, but I don't think it would be my favorite Pixar. I have another one that I've done that we'll get into my top 10 list afterwards. I plan on doing a top 10 list of my animated movies, but yeah, this would be up there, but not number one. It'd probably be 2, maybe 3, but definitely would be in the top 3. Next up, we've got Toy Story 2. It's definitely, I'd put this, it's damn near almost as good as the first one. They continue the story, add some new characters, get a little bit of the background of Woody. So yeah, Toy Story 2, just as good as the first one. And it brings us to Toy Story 3. It's definitely, number 1, they set the bar high. Number 2, pretty close. 3 is up there, not as good as the first 2, but still really good. And in my opinion, they should have ended it with this, because the way it ends, I don't want to give too much away. If you've not seen these, the ending I thought was really good. It's kind of passing along the torch to another kid. So Toy Story 3, pretty much ends it in my opinion. Now that brings us to Toy Story 4, which I think it is a good movie. I'll give it credit. I don't want to sound negative that way. It is good, but it went off in a different direction from the others, and I just think a fourth one, they could have done something completely different, continue the story. I mean, it was a continuation. They brought back a couple characters that you saw in the originals, and you got some introductions of new ones. But again, this was not needed. I think they could have done so much better. For me, for Toy Stories, I personally, after all this time, I know they're doing a 5th one. My dream Toy Story movie to come back to would be the toys coming back to Andy's kids or grandkids. After all this time, he's grown up and an adult. So I would love to see them come back to his family. I think that would be the ultimate way to wrap up Toy Story. I haven't heard what Toy Story 5 will be about. I'm hoping that's what will happen. But in my mind, that's what I want. But knowing Disney, they'll probably fuck it up some way, so who knows what will happen. So that does it for all the Disney and the Pixar stuff. So now we're going to jump into what's not Disney. We got a lot here. And first we're going to do some Christmas classics. I know it's kind of weird doing Christmas stuff in August, but it was animated. I wanted to get them done. So we got the classic Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, stuff what we all grew up with in our childhood. These are still fun, and plus, it's, the stop motion animation. I love that old classic animated style because so much work was done to this stuff. I mean, I'm not saying the computerized, CG is a lot of work because they still got to draw stuff frame by frame. But when you're getting into, the old classic stuff, hand-drawn animation, and then, stop motion, we're using little puppets and maneuvering, 24 times for every second of film. So, I love this old classic animation, and this is incredible. And being on 4K here, it was all restored, looks pristine. It's incredible how good this freaking looks after all. This is, I can't remember how old this is. But yeah, this is some pretty old shit here, and it looks like it was just done yesterday. So Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, great classic here. If you have not got the 4K, I recommend getting this. This is really good. Plus the 4K here has some really good bonus content. It's got the animagic world of Rankin Bass, and it talks about restoring the puppets of Rudolph. You got reimagining Rudolph in 4D. Then you got some other stuff. So it's got some really good bonus features here you need to pick up. Next up, we've got Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Another classic from Rankin Bass. It's also, again, stop motion animation. Again, the 4K, all the restoration. If you don't have this on 4K, I highly recommend, picking up these old classics. And to round off those Rankin Bass movies, we've got Frosty the Snowman. Now, this is hand-drawn. It's not stop motion, but it is hand-drawn. And again, the restoration on 4K, impeccable. This thing looks freaking nuts. Every little detail, all the lines. I mean, you can just see everything come off the screen here. And also bonus features, we've got another animagic world of Rankin Bass, and also the original pencil test. And also we have a commentary with animation historian Mark Evanier. So some pretty cool stuff here. Again, these classics, I mean, I was skeptical if they could be done how 4K would be, but I highly recommend getting these. Next up, we've got Pirates. Actually, the case here says Band of Misfits, but looking online, it's got some other subtitle. Instead of Band of Misfits, it says something else, Adventures of Scientists or something. So it's kind of weird the names being used. So maybe there was different names between US, UK, I don't know. But, for all purposes, for the case here, it says Pirates, Band of Misfits. This is stop motion animation using puppetry. It's an Ardmore animation. I freaking love their stuff. I mean, Wallace and Gromit, Chicken Run. And this is a pretty fun movie. I'd never heard of this until I happened to come across it one time. And if you're a fan of the Aardman stuff, this isn't as good as Chicken Run or Wallace and Gromit, but still, it's a fun movie. It got some fun characters. So if you like their stuff, pick this up. It is really good. Next up, we've got the Lego Movie and the Lego Movie 2, the second part. These are pretty good. Definitely watching them again. The first one is still great. The second time around, it's not as good. It's there, it's fun, but it's missing a lot of the magic, the fun of the first one. I know there's a couple other Lego movies I need to rewatch. I'm going to do this month. I'd love to see more of these, but as far as of course, Warner Brothers, they had a deal after I think which one. The other two was the Batman Lego movie and that Ninja one. I can't remember the exact name. I'll probably pronounce it, screw it up. But after that, the Warner Brothers, the rights reverted back to Lego, and then Universal signed a 5-year deal, and it started in 2020. And I was like, oh man, you imagine all the Universal characters they can do in Lego? But then they had, COVID, everything got screwed up. And this being the end of that, I don't know how their deal is going. They were supposed to do a couple. And I think they just were missing out. I would like to, I'm I'm hoping Universal will be able to extend that and get something out there because, again, with what Warner Brothers did with their characters and these, I would love to see all the Universal stuff come to Lego. The Jaws and got the Mummy. You got some other great, Jurassic Park. There's so much Universal could do with Lego. I'm hoping that would come. Again, I don't know. Haven't seen any updates of what's going to be coming out. If they're going to extend the deal since because COVID screwed up the whole industry for such a long time. But anyways, the Lego movies are incredible. Next up, we've got Wonder Park. I have watched this before. This is a really fun movie. It has to do with this little her kid that she's really in. She's got a great imagination. She's doing a little fantasy, amusement park she builds, on paper and everything in her bedroom, and her mom helps out. But what comes to realize, like, it actually does exist in the real world, and she kind of gets sucked into it. And so this is a fun movie. If you've not seen this, check it out. It is pretty good. Next up, we've got Hotel Transylvania 2. And a month or so ago, I did the first one. This month, I went ahead and I did the second one. And I think there's 4 of them out. I've got 3 of them. I still need to get the 4th one. These are fun movies. The characters are a freaking blast. This one I liked about as much as the first one. It's still really good. So definitely another good franchise to check out, Hotel Transylvania. Next up, we've got Storks. This is another one I've had for a while. Never watched it. This is the first time watch for me. Pretty good. This was pretty fun. Had some fun characters in it. So yeah, this is a pretty fun story here from Warner Brothers. Next up, we've got a DreamWorks. We've got Turbo. And something that's interesting, I was watching when I started up and the credits, as the logos popped up on the screen, it said 20th Century Fox. I'm like, for some reason, I didn't realize Fox distributed some of DreamWorks stuff. I looked up afterwards and seen there was a 4 or 5 year span that DreamWorks did distribute. Fox did distribute DreamWorks stuff. Started out with DreamWorks distributing their own stuff, and then Paramount, and then it flipped over to Fox. And as far as I know, Universal's distributing DreamWorks now. So again, that kind of threw me off when I seen Fox title at the beginning. I'm like, oh, Fox DreamWorks, but yeah. Anyways, this is one of those from Fox DreamWorks. But a fun movie here. Has to do with snails and has a little accident, and he gets his magical. He's able to have speed, and he wants to enter. He was always dreamt of racing in the Indianapolis 500. So fun movie here, very good. Next up, we've got Puss in Boots. The spin-off character from Shrek. Character he started in Shrek 2, and he becomes such a fun-loved character. So he did a spin-off here, and also there was a second one as well. Definitely not up to the same level as Shrek, but still a pretty good fun movie. I would recommend checking out Puss in Boots. Next up, we've got another spin-off, Minions, which was a spin-off from the Despicable Me movies. Of course, the Minions were the characters within those movies, so they did a spin-off and where they got a movie all to themselves. And of course, I love the Minions. I think a lot of people out there do. There's freaking riots. And I laugh my ass off whenever I watch these movies because they're so damn funny. So yeah, Minions, definitely you have to have. And then we go to the sequel, Minions, The Rise of Gru. Of course, Gru was introduced at the end of the original Minions, so here we got to see him kind of grown a little bit. So I love this one. I loved it about as good as the first one. I can't wait to see. They are doing a third one. I can't wait to see what they do with that. So yeah, here we got the Minions, Rise of Gru. Now that does it for all the animated movies I watched in the month of August. Next up, we're going to get a few movies that are not animated. We got, kind of mixed in here and there. And the first one, I actually watched this at the beginning of the month, Bloodsport. Got this on 4K, classic. This is from Cape Light Pictures. I've been really lacking with my content. If you follow me, I haven't put anything out there for a while. I've just been lazy doing some other stuff. I just don't have the motivation to come down and do videos all the time. Just do things at my own pace. But I do plan on doing a review of this and talking about the 4K here because it's pretty damn good. Definitely when it comes to Van Damme, this is definitely one of his best movies he's ever done. Next up, we've got San Andreas. And if you follow me, you've probably heard me talk about this in other videos because I've watched this many times. This has become kind of like a comfort movie for me. You know, I'm not going to say this is one of my favorite movies, but just one of those movies I like. A lot of times I just like a good movie to sit down with. I don't have to pay attention to it. I can kind of use it as background, while I'm doing something else. Which, I mean, if you follow the original Fuzz, a while back, Fuzz did a video called, for about comfort movies. That gave me the idea. I plan on doing my own, talk about some of my comfort movies, and this will be one of them. Because I love this movie. It's got a great story, some great action sequences. Dwayne Johnson become a major heavyweight in Hollywood. I can't wait. They are doing a second one. I can't wait to see what they do with that. So, we have San Andreas here. Next up, we've got Apollo 13. Definitely an all-time favorite of mine. I've watched this many times. Great movie, based on true story of the Apollo 13 mission. The cast alone will just knock your socks off. You got Tom Hanks, Gary Sinise, Bill Paxton, Kevin Bacon, Ed Harris. So phenomenal acting here. So an all-time great here, Apollo 13. Next up, we've got iRobot with Will Smith. This is a great, it's kind of a future-based movie. A lot of times I don't like future-based movies. It's just sometimes they're too far out there. But this is very well done. Saw some great action sequences in it. I've watched this many, many times. Of course, this is a Fox movie. I would love to see this in 4K, but I doubt this will ever see the light of day. There's been rumors of them doing a sequel. I'm not sure if they're still doing it or not, but definitely, I still love this one to this day. iRobot. Next up, we've got Unstoppable. This is another comfort movie of mine. I've watched this many, many times. It's based on, it's inspired by true events. Because where the movie takes place, in Pennsylvania, but the true events it's based on, events happened in Ohio. So things are switched, but, basically it was inspired by true events. But great movie. I think it's the last movie ever directed by Tony Scott. This is one of those movies, the Blu-ray looks phenomenal here, especially with the upscaling of my Panasonic 820. So I'm not sure if 4K how it would benefit. Well, it would be interesting to see if it would be an upgrade, but even though, don't be afraid to get the Blu-ray because it looks incredible. Rich colors, it has a lot of depth to it. And, great movie with, Chris Pine and Denzel Washington. So yeah, Unstoppable, great movie here. Next up, we've got Con Air. Great action movie here. It's a Simpson Bruckheimer movie. Oh, scratch that. I forgot this is the one done after Simpson passed away, so it's just Jerry Bruckheimer produced. But great Nicolas Cage action movie here. Now, the one thing they screwed up with the Blu-ray here is it's not the director's cut. This is the original theatrical cut. This is one of those things where studios mess up when they take the DVD had a director's cut, and then they put it on a Blu-ray, and they screwed up and they didn't put the footage on Blu-ray. Same thing happened with Lethal Weapon. One of the standout scenes that they cut out was when he was in prison. There was this massive riot that his buddy actually saved his life, and so watching that version, it makes sense that throughout the whole movie, how he's wanting to save his life, kind of return the favor. where the movie here, just like he's like a ranger and don't leave anyone behind. That's the reason he's saving them. But the director's cut makes more sense because Damien saves his life, so it makes more sense. So I'm hoping if and when this comes to 4K, it is rumored that they're working on it, that they're going to do the director's cut. Well, I just have to wait and see. Great Blu-ray. Again, it's just missing those extra scenes. Next up, we've got Going in Style. This, if you're into heist movies, this is freaking awesome. And plus, I mean, the characters, you got these old folks. You got Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine, and I forgot his name, Alan Arkin. And also you got Matt Dillon, Anne Margaret, Joey King, Christopher Lloyd. So it's got a great cast, and it's just such a fun movie. I can't imagine these old guys going into, robbing a bank because their place is, shut down. They've lost all their retirement. So they need money so they don't lose their homes. But if you like heist movies, if you like these guys, watch this. This is freaking great. I've watched this 3 or 4 times now and does not get old. Now that does it for the movies I have on physical media. But we actually did watch some on streaming last month. And my wife and I are, one of the streaming services we have the Angel Studios app. And if you don't know about Angel Studios, they're an up-and-coming company. They're into the inspirational movies. They do a lot of true story movies. They're producing their own movies for the theaters. They're also, producing and distributing movies that are done by independent studios that just they can't get their movies out there, which is really good to have some, support there. Otherwise, there's movies out there that probably never see the light of day. So it's nice to see a studio come in and say, hey, we'll do this for you. But if you like inspirational movies, I highly recommend Angel Studios. They have different tiers of their app. I forget what their cheapest is. The ads, no ads. And then they have a premium package. It runs with taxes. We pay $21.60 a month. But what that gets you, we get free movie tickets for the theater. So right there, that's worth it there. If you're interested in this stuff, check them out. They're putting new content up on our channel all the time. They got some great stuff. The first one a few months ago, there's a movie called Rule Breakers that came to the theaters, and my wife and I went ahead and got the free tickets for that and went to see it. Loved it. The Last Rodeo. We could have got tickets for that, but we just couldn't make it because we got a 3-hour drive to a good theater. So it's a little harder for us to go to the theater. So we missed out on that. Then most recently, the movie Sketch. Again, we could have got tickets. We didn't have a chance to it. But now there's another new movie called The Senior. It's coming out in a couple weeks. It's got Michael Chiklis in it. It looks really good. It's based on a football player. It's actually true story. We just booked. Got free tickets for that. We actually booked the showing for that. So looking forward to seeing that in a couple of weeks. So I kind of rambled on there about Angel Studios, but I just really want to check them out. See it. So if you like inspirational movies, I highly recommend Angel Studios. So getting back to what we actually did watch this movie. It's called Greater, and it's got Neil McDonough. He's doing a lot of movies for them now. And of course, he usually, a lot of times in the past he's always been pretty good at playing a bad guy. He was in Walking Tall with Dwayne Johnson. But yeah, the Greater here, it follows true story that I should have jotted a name down of the character. I completely forgot because it's been a couple weeks since we've watched this, but. And all he has to do is a football. It's a kid. He's the younger brother of Neil McDonough's character, and a kid. He's inspired. He wants to play for the Arkansas Razorbacks. That's his dream, and ends up becoming a walk-on at the college. And follows his life. It jumps back and forth between growing up and going through the school, and also the current day, because he had passed away, and how his brother and family are handling everything. So very good movie, highly recommended. I forgot to jot down. I'm thinking I'll pop up on the screen after in editing to see if anyone else besides how else you could watch this. I'm wanting to say Prime might have had it, but again, I'll double check and post it for you. This one I think is available in physical media. Again, I'll post it on the screen for you if it is. Next up, we've got another true story movie. It's called Molly. It's one I'd never heard of. My wife had heard about it, and we looked it up, and it's on Angel Studios app. And it is a good movie. It's not one that's rewatchable in my opinion. I mean, it's worth watching once, but I'm not sure if I'd watch it again. Maybe in a few years down the road. Again, it's a good story to it, but I would recommend watching it at least once. Again, I can't remember if there's any other way to watch. I'll pop it up on the screen for you. Next up, we have another one we watch on Angel Studios. It's another true story. It's called Raising the Bar, the Alma Richards story. It's another one. I've never heard of this guy. And it has to do with, Alma Richards. He was a high jumper in the track and field. Follows his story. How he got into, from go to school and goes to the Olympics. And this is one I would watch again. I don't think it's available in physical media yet, and I would buy this. I'd like to have this in my collection, but anyways, it's a really good movie. I highly recommend checking this out if you like true story, inspirational movies. Now, that does it for all the movies I watched, but I did, if you do follow me, me and my wife do watch a lot of TV shows as well. Of course, back in July, we finished Grimm, and then we started Eureka. And so this month, we actually finished Eureka seasons 4 and 5. We actually got that finished up this past weekend. Now, if you like that sci-fi stuff, I would recommend Eureka. It's such a fun show. The characters are a blast. And Colin Ferguson, he plays the sheriff. Before Eureka, I'd never heard of him before. But what he does in the show and some of the body language, with some of the stuff he does, I'm not sure if anybody else could do. He pulled it off, and I mean, he just took that role to another level. He is freaking awesome in this show. Another thing you know him from is probably some old Maytag commercials, he had done. But yeah, Eureka, I love this show. I've watched the entire series a couple times now. And as one, I was glad when it got canceled, I don't know how far in advance they knew, but they did wrap it up, so the ending was good. It wasn't just left you hanging. They finished it off properly. So if you haven't seen Eureka, I would check it out. It's on DVD. Also, the Blu-ray, it's available as a set. You can find on eBay for I think it's like about $50 for 5 seasons. But individually, I don't think they're all available, so you have to buy the whole set. So that wraps it up for everything I watched in the month of August. This was a lengthy video. It had a lot of stuff. These animated movies, they've been a bitch. There's a lot of them, and I still got a lot to go through. So in all, I watched 31 animated movies, and I watched 7 other movies on disc. So I watched 38 movies on physical media here, and then of course I had 3 streaming. So I watched a total of 41 movies in the month of August. So pretty big month. So going forward, September, I have enough animated movies. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do a 4th month of animated movies. I just want to get through as many as possible, because when it's all said and done, I want to do some top 10 lists. I was thinking I definitely want to do an overall top 10 animated, but I also want to split it up. I was thinking of doing like a top 10 Disney, Pixar, I was even thinking of doing a top 10 of stop motion animation, which I don't own a lot of those, so I'm not sure if I can pull it off. I have to buy a few more. I've got about a dozen more that I've seen that I've not watched that I want to go ahead and buy just for that purpose. So with that in mind, I'm going to continue that. Follow me on Instagram. I've been posting every day. Whenever I watch the animated movies, I post those so you can keep an eye on those. So I'm still mixing in old classics along with newer stuff to try to have that variety each month. Another thing, if you follow me, I do the collection updates every month as well. But I did not buy any movies in the month of August, so I will not have a collection update for that. Again, I've been lacking as far as content goes. I'm one that I've said this before and I'll say it again. Hats off to everyone out there that has YouTube channels and put out stuff all the time, because I have so much respect to them, because it takes a lot of time to put stuff up every single day. If you have a full-time job, if you've got a family, I just don't know how they do it. I mean, Ken over there at Mid-Level Media, I just honestly, I don't know how he finds time to do this stuff every day. I mean, a lot of the time he records multiple videos and just puts one out every day, which it's a good thing, but still it takes a lot of time, especially if you have to do the editing. And I just don't want to feel like it's a job. So I do things at my own pace, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. So that's why, I recommend, having those bell notifications, turn that on, since I don't post all the time. Just keep an eye out for, it's slow going. I want to get some reviews up for you. I got a lot of stuff I want to do that's on my list to do. I just need to get off my lazy ass and do it. Again, I did that blood sport. I jotted notes down. I just want to get it. So I'm hoping to get a video for that here next few days. So I hope you've made it through this video. This has been pretty long. Please comment below. Let me know what you think of some of the stuff I watched. What are some of them that you watched last month? Did you watch any good old classics? Are there any good animated movies that I have not talked about yet that you would recommend? Now, maybe I don't know about them. I would be willing to check out. Check out my other videos on my channel. Like, subscribe, turn your bell notifications on, and we'll see you soon. Geek out.